Call the Groseal Downtown Development Authority meeting to order. The first item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Marie, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to end up on the ground.
The next item is roll call. Mr. Moran is here. Mr. Budney.
Present.
Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Pusak.
Here.
Mr. Anley's excused. Mr. Gergley.
Yes.
Ms. Karn. And Mr. Jacobson.
Yes.
We have a quorum. Next item, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Jim,
I'll second.
supported by Marie to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the minutes of the April 27th, 2023 meeting.
I'll move to accept.
Support.
Motion by Marie, supported by Jim to approve the minutes of of April 27th, 2023. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is our financial update, the approval of the April 2023 financial report.
I just have one question.
Marie?
What is a DDA cleanup cap? I'm just
Those
curious.
cleanup caps were the caps that you all received and that we gave away at our merchant meeting. Those were made by Emily Wellman of Island Goods. Those were the
The
DDA hats.
Cleanup.
I don't know. It's the name for it. It's
I
just
got it. It's a base, it's a ball cap.
Also, I'd say also known as a baseball hat.
Okay. Just curious. I'll move to accept.
Motion by Marie,
Support.
supported by Jim to approve the April 2023 financial report. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Our next item is our action items. We have a motion to approve the sketch work by Camilo Pardo for the Groseal Hardware Store in June of this year. And we have Michelle to present that to us today. Michelle?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Michelle.
I'm very excited to show you guys the sketches that I've received. So, Camilo, this is the first sketch that he gave me. I love it. I think it's classic. It also has that nostalgic feel that I think a lot of people on Groseal like. You got the Mustang. He sent this to me, and then I said, can you put maybe the lighthouse in there, give it a little bit more Groseal? So he did, and that's what he sent me. So this one is my personal favorite, and the next one, it's not really my favorite. It's a race car. He's really excited about this one, but there's this whole fad going on in the art world where they are whiting out the black, and I'm like, that's not really for Groseal, I don't think.
Well, yeah, and I, certainly our community is more the muscle car.
Definitely.
I don't see many F1s floating around the island. So the Mustang for sure. I do have a question. Ross and I were talking this morning about it, and we were saying, geez, everything we do, we have a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for him to put like the airport hangar?
Oh, yeah, that might be cool.
Over there in the background instead of the lighthouse, and
Yeah.
and show the.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah,
I'll talk to
but
him. And
yeah,
it's-
I'm with you on the Mustang.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Well, I can get. He starts this, I think, in 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks. So, and I know he's wrapping up on 2 paintings right now, but I think that the airport hangar is like a pretty simple building. And
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty simple for him to do. I'll talk to him about it tonight, and then maybe that's just a case where I have to send you guys all an email, and then you guys can pick between either the lighthouse or the airport hangar. So,
if I may, I think Camilo's familiar with the hangar too. He's
Yeah.
done a bunch of shots in there.
Yep.
I think the 2023 Ford GT he shot in there too. So
Yeah.
he's familiar with our hangar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that's definitely doable. So next, I did get some sketches from Bo.
But before we leave
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Michelle, I'd like to just make sure, is there anybody else have any comments? Especially Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
So the Mustang was my vote too, so.
Yeah. Sorry, I already talked to
And-
Jerry.
And I do agree with the lighthouse. I think something different other
Okay.
than the lighthouse would be good, so. So there, any other questions or comments on the Mustang?
I'm good.
Everybody good? Okay.
Cool.
Looks like everybody's good with the Mustang.
Awesome.
Adding a hanger.
I
so.
think the Mustang is definitely the right choice.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, next we have Bo Stanton, and I know that a few people have seen these. So
And this is for where, Michelle?
Dubke Plumbing.
Just want to make sure everybody knows where
Um, Yep.
that's.
So this is the first one. This is the freighter. I think you cannot go wrong with either of these sketches. So this is the freighter, super colorful, really cool. And then the next one is the griffin. This is my favorite, but you know, artists don't always know what people want.
But, you know, I know I didn't know anything about the Griffin as many years as I've been here until you started talking about it before. I personally like the freighter, which is something, you know, that we relate to. We were talking about colors, though. Can you go back to the freighter?
I have both of them on
Oh,
one
there you
screen.
go.
There you go.
Just the coloring, you know, it's somehow the freighter doesn't show up. I mean, to me, doesn't show up real well. You have to kind of look. Maybe if we can change some colors there, but for that. But that they're both good, and I love the fact that the Griffin and the history, because it means something. But I don't know that many people on Groseal really know anything about the Griffin.
Yeah, I thought that it. No.
Right, I think that's,
Well, I think but it's going to be, they're not going to look at it and say, oh, the Griffin. They're going to say, what the heck is that? You know, they're
Yeah.
going to have to search somewhere. And I know, you know, that Ross will be getting calls every day. What is it?
And also, I did talk to like a lot of my neighbors, my nanny, and everybody loved the freighter. And they all said like that's what it's like on Groseal.
Yeah.
You see these giant
That's-
freighters go
That's
by,
our spring
and I
and
was like, oh,
summer.
that's cool.
As soon as, you know, I mean, that's the freighters going by.
Yeah. So Bo,
So, but both are good.
Bo
Both are
did
really
tell me
nice.
that the colors may change as he's painting them. And if you look at his murals, the boat is more visible. The boats are always more visible. I think that just his sketches are a little bit more abstracted.
And that was.
Yeah.
we're-
So I think it
Ross
will
and I were talking.
come out more.
Okay.
But I don't know if you guys wanted to vote on this today or.
I think we should. I mean, if these are the two choices, I think we should give direction
And
tonight.
give them as
And,
much
yeah,
time.
let him do that. I'll open it up for anybody else have any opinion?
I
get-
just think that the griffin's really cool. I don't know what we could do with it, but it's really cool.
I think they're both really good.
I don't think you can go wrong.
No.
Well, a Griffin, you'd be able to get more people would probably be asking about it, which is good. Which so it's going to create more interest, but it might be, you know, maybe there's some information that could be passed out about it.
Facebook post, I think, can do
Or
that too.
something.
Or a
Similar,
plaque
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah, good idea.
I like them both, as I
Yeah.
mentioned to you earlier today, and my vote is for the freighter. I like the coloring, and I think the freighter is more, relatable to Groseal. The Griffin, I think if I read that right, it sank someplace in northern Michigan versus,
No, so the Griffin was the boat that the person who named Groseal was on when he named Groseal.
but it did sink somewhere.
It did
Ah,
sink
yeah,
somewhere.
somewhere
Yes.
else. Yeah.
That's not around here.
That's all we need is people diving now.
The freighter is not sinking.
That might bring people to the island.
Yeah, that's.
So,
Well, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion for that we accept the freighter.
had a motion by Jim.
I'll second.
Motion by Jim, supported by Marie. Is there any other comments, discussion?
I like the freighter.
If there's no other comments, we have a motion by Jim, supported by Marie, to choose the freighter as the mural to go on Zupke's, that would be the east side of their building, starting in July.
That
Michelle?
one's July,
Starting
yep.
in July?
No, that one's in August, I'm
In
sorry.
August, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, that's in August. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. And please pass along to him that it was a tough choice.
Oh, he
We
knows.
like them both, so.
Yeah, when I saw those this morning, I go, wow, we can only have one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean, those are
exciting.
really nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We'll move on to our second action item, which is a motion to accept the resignation of board member Kelly Chessor.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes,
we still need to vote on action item number 1, which is Camilo's.
okay,
We
yeah,
skipped past
that's true.
Camilo's. We got a little
did-
excited there.
Yeah, we did decide what we liked, but if somebody wants to make a motion to approve the Mustang,
I'll make
ahead,
a motion.
And I'll
that's,
support.
that's appropriate. Did Jerry make
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Got a motion,
Please, Jerry, make the motion.
got a motion by Jerry, supported by Jim, to choose the green Mustang to be on the east side of the Grosdale Hardware. And that is going to be starting in mid-June, correct? Or
Hopefully around June 8th, he will
be Right.
starting.
So the idea is when we do the Island Nights, he'll still be working on it during that. Okay, so it won't quite be done, but, okay.
any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Thanks,
Before
Ross.
we move on, can I ask a question about July?
Sure.
With the Lloyd's building, or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So that map, he's just started working on the sketches this week.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't have much other updates for you. There was one discussion that I had with him about the rotation of the map, and I just brought it up to Ross, because the map is placed in a way that in order to fill as much space, it's not going to be accurate to the location, if that makes, like, north is not facing north on the map. So, because it would be switched this way, but me and Ross just discussed it, and if he flips it the other way, it would work.
We're just working out the orientation
Yes,
of it.
that's basically
It'll
it.
be fine. We got it. We're good.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I don't think people are going to be using that as like the actual map. It's more of a decoration, but it's more of like a decoration piece. So, but it's interpretive. It's art,
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's all I have from him. His sketches are going to be approved next meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
And he'll start roughly first week of July, second week of July?
I think it's the second week of July.
July.
Yep.
Thanks, Michelle. We need to make a motion to accept the resignation of Kelly Chessor.
So moved.
Motion by Jim,
I'll support.
supported by Eric, to accept the resignation of Kelly. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. Motion carries. Action item number 3 is to authorize additional payment to Wade Trim for final renderings of the Lyons Park, not to exceed $1,400. And give you a little background, as you know, we had approved Wade Trim to do some master planning, and they were able to do really a lot more work than we anticipated, because they were able to do it faster and cheaper. And so we got more work than we anticipated out of them, but as Ross was dealing with some of the grant applications, it came to our attention that whatever we could provide in a rendering would help with our cause and our pitch to try to get some grant funding. So we talked to Wade Trim, asked them if they still had any funding, any balance left, and I think they had a little bit, but not enough to do the rendering that we really need to help us and submit information for grants. So we talked to them, and they had given us a cost of $1,400 to do a rendering. So that's why that's on the agenda tonight.
Well, then I would move that we that we authorize the additional payment to them in the not to exceed $1,400.
Second?
Motion by Jim, supported by Marie. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Our next item is our discussion items, and item number 1 is the summer banner designs. Ross?
Sir, all right, we good on this? Is it flipped up the side, the good way here? All right. Yeah, so we just got these in today from Tina Brown. This is the first rendering of banners we got here. We kind of gave her some feedback initially that we wanted something more abstract, more artsy to go with our Art on the Isle and Island Nights summer events. So I think this kind of goes well. She provided 3 different banner types. She said that, if there's, if we want to have a compass instead of a wheel, we could change that up. I guess just what I wanted to get was your guys' overall feeling about the banners, and if we wanted to change it up, change direction, or is this overall what we're looking for? So.
Ross, can you turn that? That's upside down
Oh,
on
see,
our
okay.
screen. Could you turn that?
Yep. There we go.
Anyone have any comments on the banners?
So
Yeah, they all look great.
they're all, so we're gonna have all of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I like them.
I think that's what I was thinking too.
Strange
Yeah,
to me, but
yeah. We're not.
I like
you
the
know,
first 2.
We're an
a
island
lot.
community, but we're not from Florida. Like it's like.
Right.
So I think maybe putting a compass on that one or doing something
That would
different
be a
there.
good idea, yeah.
I'm always about less is more for writing, because in my opinion, you'll drive by and you'll never be able to read where it says "Welcome to" unless you're right on top of the banner. But
Right.
and the same thing with the word "explore."
Yeah.
Those 2 don't bother me.
It doesn't bother me, but the banners, when you're driving by, the writing gets so small on that because it's up in the air, and I mean, until you're right on top of it,
Yeah.
it's hard to read. But
I like them.
Yeah.
I like that in there.
Maybe we can just shorten it down to Macomb Street, or kind of maybe maybe just a 1-word type deal on there, like a large, or maybe no words.
I mean, if everybody's happy with it, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I just,
I think they're good.
It's okay, yeah.
Okay.
Why not leave it? I mean,
Yeah.
if they don't read it, they don't read it. I mean, it's not.
I mean,
gonna hurt,
obviously,
but-
people walking
Yeah.
Right.
will read it, but
Well, the good thing is, if you can't read what the script says, it says Macomb Street, you can read Macomb Street, so you're not losing anything.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
Cool. All right. Thank you.
nice.
Our next discussion item is the business network meeting that is scheduled for August 11th.
Yes, so this is kind of building off of our discussion and our findings from our merchant meeting. We found that businesses wanted to meet more regularly on a quarterly basis. So I felt that maybe that August 11th would work. We're just kind of throwing it out there, just thinking August in general. We can always move things around.
What day of the week is that?
Yeah, is that
Let me
a
see.
Friday?
Let me see.
8th is a Tuesday.
Friday.
It would be a Friday.
Friday.
I was thinking the week of August, like the second week of August.
I think the week of August 11th is good, but a Friday is probably
Friday's
a
not
good
good.
day.
Yeah.
Not for August.
And people from there are business owners that are in Rotary, so I would suggest that we don't do Thursday.
Don't do Thursday. Gotcha.
Which kind of leaves Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. So either that Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday is election.
Okay.
And I mean,
Maybe the third week of August.
yeah. I'm gonna have to, I'm working the election, so I wouldn't be able to make it, and I'd like to be there, so, but don't do it just for me.
The month of August. Let's keep it general.
there you
We're
go.
the month of August.
Not on a Friday.
Right. But and this is going to be a less formal meeting. It's really a get to know. I mean, just continuing the conversation that we had at the merchant meeting, and
Are we going to have like a subcommittee meeting that we can kind of?
we will just.
I mean, I believe you need to have some structure to it.
Of course, yeah. We'll kind of work that out. That could be the next thing that we kind of schedule is
Okay.
maybe that subcommittee to And, this is, these quarterly meetings are kind of going to grow into our business attraction retention program, to discuss with business owners, what are some of the issues that you're having? How can we keep you on the island? How can we keep you on Macomb Street? And what are your ideas to recruiting more people to come on Macomb
And
Street?
we'll have had some events by then. We can get their feedback on it.
Yep. So, yeah, that's all I have for you.
Ross, I'd like to be on the subcommittee for that.
Sweet. Put you
So
down.
Ross, why don't you, at our June meeting, let's lock into the specific date so we
Okay.
can get it out to everybody so they can put it on their calendar.
Will do.
Okay, we'll move on to our director's report. Item number 1 is the Public Spaces Community Places Grant.
Yeah, so we just went live today. It's our the Patronicity Grant. So it's a crowdfunding campaign, and if we meet our goal of $29,000 or $29,500, the state of Michigan will match all those funds, and essentially, doubling all the contributions made. So I know I got some emails from state reps and saying, supporting us and asking, what can they do to help. So the state of Michigan really helps out on getting the word out about, our placemaking program, Art in the Aisle, the things that we're doing here, and helps spread the word. So we're going to be reaching out and, getting the community to come and get involved and participate in Island Nights and, come check out the murals. So, and that will end on July 10th. So
We have from now to July 10th to raise $29,500, and they'll match up to $29,500. If we only raise 15, they'll match 15.
So no, we have to meet our goal of 29,500.
Oh, okay, or it's
so it's
kind
gonna
of
be-
all or nothing sort
Yep,
of thing?
yep.
Okay.
How much can the DDA contribute?
So we can any entity can contribute a max of 10,000. So
So what are the plans for getting the rest of the money?
So that's been in the works for a while. We're reaching out to, people that the township has worked with. We're reaching out to, statewide or national organizations. Talking with the state, they say that typically, they shoot out an email to all of their network. It's the state of Michigan, so it's a pretty wide network. So, you'll get DTE might donate, or I'm just thinking off the top of my head, a couple, So they have a pretty high success rate. They say that upwards of 90%, meet their goal. So we're feeling pretty good. But regardless, even if we don't, it's a way to get the community involved into what we're doing and participate. So.
And Ross, as it relates to a company like DTE that would contribute, do they contribute to the program in general, or do they contribute right to the Grow Zeal project?
Right to the Grow Zeal project. So what they do is they go online. There's a bunch of different levels. I mean, you can donate $10, you can donate $25, or someone like DTE can donate $2,000. And we have different levels. If I don't have it right in front of me, but if you donate $2,000, then we'll put a plaque with your name underneath the mural. So we're gonna get a plaque of the artists, who made it and what the name of the mural, and then we're gonna have the donors underneath to commemorate them. So, so they can go right online on patronicity.com/GI and give a donation. So,
Is that being promoted locally too?
being promoted locally, we're promoting it on our Facebook, and Instagram. We have the community newsletter. We're gonna promote on there, and MEDC promoted they made an article today, kind of stating exactly what we do, and we shared that on social media. So,
Ross, would it be worth you doing an article for the Grand? Because we have that coming up.
Right.
If you want to do that, you can have that slot.
Okay.
I'll take the person I had for that, let them do the next one.
okay, yeah, no, I'd
I mean,
be willing.
because yeah, the time is important if we
Right.
only have until July.
Yep. Yeah. I know that I wrote the article for Art on the Aisle last month, but I could write about
I
the
mean,
patronage.
talk about grants and really key on this one, and maybe we can get some. Yeah, okay. So you take care of that.
Yeah, sure.
I actually, you bring that up, so I finally sat down and read it tonight, so. Did you get any feedback on that?
I have not gotten any
I
feedback
mean, it was
on
nicely done.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
The video that's on that site is very nicely done too, and really spells out about Art on the Aisle program and
Right.
the purpose of it, so. 2
Communication.
stars in here.
Okay, cool.
No, it was really well done though.
Anything else?
No, I just got a couple other grants to talk about.
Okay, go ahead if you want
That would be
to
applying
talk about
to.
the revitalization and placemaking.
Yep. So they're going second round. We didn't get the first round. These next 2 grants are in very, very competitive grants. So the second round for the RAP grant, we will be applying for Lyons Park. We're going to keep on hammering away at Lyons Park. We're going to one of these times we're gonna get one. So. And with the help of Wade Trim, having those renderings and having everything set in stone, so it's a shovel-ready project. That's what these grants really like to see. So, the deadline for that one is June 30th, and then the next one is the DNR Sparks grant. This grant, they really want to see a regional approach to a project where there are different cities and or villages or towns working together to complete one project. And since we're on an island, it's kind of hard to land these grants. But it doesn't hurt to go out there and put our name in the hat. So we'll be applying for that one as well. So
I think we have a different story to tell because we are an island, and I think, maybe it doesn't fit their criteria, but I think we should try because we do have a little bit of a different story because we're in a unique location that we're not able to, for the most part, it's going to be hard to team with another community to try to help get money to our community for a park. So we do have a different story to tell, but I think that's okay.
Yep, definitely.
Any questions for Ross on any of these?
I do.
Marie?
So in the minutes, we talked about the benches last month. So can you give us an update on the benches and what are we doing with the benches that are already there? What's that plan?
Yeah, so we're set. We're waiting for the contractor to submit the bonds, or I'm not exactly sure how the process goes. Something between the contractor and the engineer, they're working out what they have to work out. But we're still set to put those in July. And those old benches will be going, the ones that are functional, will be going on the trail system, on our trails. And then we're thinking about, we still haven't figured out how we're going to commemorate those who donated before. We're thinking of putting another plaque on those benches. I know we had talked about this. We still are kicking around ideas. So I guess this is a great time to think of, your guys' ideas on this. So.
Well, the people that have their name on the benches, the families, will we contact them in advance to tell them what is happening with their loved one's bench?
Yes. So we just got the contracts from our attorneys so in order to put in these new benches, we have to get confirmation from the property owners to go in and replace and do the work.
Okay.
So we are going to be reaching out. I'm going to be walking up and down Macomb Street, knocking on people's doors, saying, hey, this is exactly what we're putting here. Here's a way that we can commemorate the one, your loved one. And then if they would like, if they don't want it, they don't want it. But we think that we'll find a great way to keep their memory going on. So I'll be having those conversations with them in the next month. So.
Okay.
Anything else, Marie?
No, the other thing that came to mind is, with communication, maybe you should just shout out the DDA's Facebook page right now so that, we know where we can get DDA Facebook information. So
Yep.
what is our Facebook?
It's facebook.com/girlsdealdda. So same thing with Instagram. So go check us out, please.
Anything else?
Just that, that grant from the county, was that for Lyons Park? I thought it was.
That was, and we still haven't heard back. But I think it's important to keep in mind that we didn't hear back from that first round when I first applied around this time. Well, not entirely sure. I think it might have been like in August, and we didn't hear back until like 3 or 4 months later that they had processed those first rounds of grants. So, I mean, even though we haven't heard back from our time here last month, but so keep the faith.
Yeah, well, I have a call in, so hopefully tomorrow I'll get a hold of them and have some information.
Anything else, Ross?
Nope, that's all for me.
Okay, we'll move on to our next item, which is the chairman's report. And just wanted to bring up a couple things. Hopefully, everybody's had a chance to see the G and the I sculpture has been painted by the high school, and their
Absolutely.
handprints are on there. And I did talk to MI Custom Signs today as well about getting a proposal to light the sign. So they're working on that. Curtis, who is the person that will be doing that, he's on vacation until Tuesday next week. So we probably won't get anything for a week or so, but we'll have something at the next meeting to discuss. And then also, we were talking about it just before the meeting, but the Nordine brothers, who had done 3 of the sculptures here on Groseal, they just unveiled a sculpture in the city of Detroit in between the Ambassador Bridge and the new bridge at a park there. And it's basically a replica. It's a bigger version of the one that we have on Macomb Street that was made out of steel from Joe Louis Arena. But it's basically the same thing, but it's 42 feet tall. So kind of recognition for the artists that, have done things for us. They're very popular in the city. They do a lot of work for the city of Detroit and a lot of sculptures in the city. So just a coincidence that the sculpture they did looks exactly like ours, except we have a smaller version of what they have. So
They unfortunately, I spend some time down at the Henry Ford Cancer Center, and they have one down there that's pretty much like ours too. So
that's all I have. Is there any public comment? Did I see Allie here?
yeah, Allie's just
Do you have anything to report tonight, or?
Update?
Sure, could you
Okay.
please?
Okay, yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. So weird being up here. Just to I spoke with Ross this morning and just where I'm at with everything. We did receive our first sculpture submission. I will wait until the next DDA meeting to present that is technically when the deadline is. But I had spoke with Ross this morning about extending the deadline, which I feel that we can leave it more open-ended until you receive, which I believe I've talked with you guys before about, until you receive enough quality submissions and feel comfortable to make your selection of 6. And then that would give 2 full months. If we extended the deadline a month, that would give 2 full months to secure the locations and have the foundations prepared. Then that could coincide with having the sculptures installed in September for that is that the last Island Nights? Yeah. So that which would, I think, make sense with what we're doing with the murals, kind of having something happening and having a presence there, kind of like in celebration of Art on the Isle. And then I talked with him briefly about the patronicity grant and how I could help in some way in fundraising for that. At the Art Center, we do a lot of different raffles, and that raffle money is normally dedicated to go towards keeping our events free of charge. So it's a way that I'm able to cover my costs at the art center, and to provide those types of events, public events, and then people still get a chance to get something in return. So if you got, I can work on doing those types of things, and make it clear to the public that their raffle money is going towards funding for public art. So those types of things I had talked with Ross about. And then on the topic of installing permanent works, I know that I believe my contract is reaching the end, or you guys had agreed to pay me up until I think last month. And I had talked about working through the 6 sculptural pieces being installed at no extra payment, because I feel that that's like where the bulk of my work will be happening. In the last 4 months, it's just been preparing to receive submissions, and then once the submissions are received and you choose the ones that you want, that's when like the real work I feel will begin for me. But once that happens, if on the topic of installing permanent works, if you would like me to propose how I can manage something like that, and coordinate, putting together information on artists that I feel would be good to commission to permanent works from. And then we also talked about me putting together some form of survey to receive response from the community during the island nights when we have our Art on the Isle booth, in regard to the permanent works, because I think that it will be important specifically for the permanent works to gauge community response. So that's where I'm at with everything.
Any questions for Ally? Thanks for the update.
Yep. Thank you.
Ron, if I may
Yes,
ask
Jim.
a quick question for Ron. Did you get a hold of the school to see, when are they gonna finish the
Yeah.
GI?
So Mr. Bunny noted that it seemed like the top of the G wasn't completely painted. I reached out to Mr. Bennett up at the school and he said he was going to check with the art teacher to see if there's anything that could be done.
He just sounded like he wanted to ask the art teacher why that wasn't finished and
Yeah.
what's the plan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he indicated that he would get back to us.
Yep.
So, okay. If there's no other public comment, I'd like to suggest that we go into a closed session now to discuss negotiations of the purchase of real estate. So if someone wants to
I
make a
will make
motion
the
to.
motion.
Support.
Got a motion by Jim, supported by April, to go into closed session.
You have to do a roll call vote on that.
Roll call is, Ron is yes, Mr. Jim,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
April,
Yes.
and Jerry.
Yes.
We have approval to go into closed session. All those in favor say aye. All
Aye.
opposed say no. Okay.